the lots of feelings. So me, my sweetness, you're more than appealing, and nothing else other than good love is revealing. Now look at us, we're so strong and courageous. It is a very good thing. Love save us, a beautiful child the Almighty gave us. We're more than blessed. No one will ever slave us. Things remain the same.
I'm gonna take time out to say good afternoon to the DeSantis family. Good afternoon, Anita. How you doing today, man? How's the vibes on Church Street this afternoon? Y'all good?
Remain the same.
Good afternoon to my friend Rwanda, all the way in Essequibo.
Just free your mind.
How you doing, my sister? Enjoy the leave, right?
He's got a whole lot of love in his heart for you, girl.
To my people in the Ministry of Human Services, good afternoon, Nicole and company.
Good life, I thank you for this little goddess. Remind me of my mommy. Extremely modest attitude and attributes. Make her so honest, never in a mix-up now. No less elaborate, I gave her all my love. She's the gladdest, cause when it comes to love, woman and a novice, she's calmer than a dove. So I put her in my palace. Even though we argue.
You know our love was meant to be. Kind of love that lasts forever.
Yeah. And I want you here with me from tonight until the end of time.
You should know everywhere I go, you're always on my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Baby, you're the meaning in my life. You're the inspiration. You bring feeling to my life. You're the inspiration. I wanna have you near me. I wanna have you hear me say it. No one needs you more than I.
You never want me, forever burning. And you see when the tables turn.
Take time out to say good afternoon to my people in Toronto, logged on. And to my family in Queens, good afternoon, mama. How y'all feeling in New York City, logged on too? Trinidad logged on, Antigua logged on, and yo, they on a hold on for life. Turn it up wherever you be. Share the live with your friends, family, and enemies too.
You never want me, forever burning. And you see when the tables turn. Me say I love her, I and I preaching. So every land of hate will burn. I was there when the ships came and chastised her in a Jesus' name. Wonder if me crazy, wonder if me sane. But the whole of Rome I go up in a flame. I know nothing see me back in a room.
I never asked you before, right, Fifth? I never asked you to pull up a song twice. Please do me a favor, no man. Hold on, pull up my youth. Beat and teach the nation, man.
Highly, 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 highly.
Man 97.5, the front line.
You never want me, forever burning. And you see when the tables turn. Me say I love her, I and I preaching. So every land of hate.
Somebody said tune.
Was there when the ships came and chastised her in a Jesus' name. Wonder if me crazy, wonder if me sane. But the whole of Rome I go up in a flame. I know nothing see me back in a room and start a fire, start a fire. And I know nothing see me back in a room and start a fire, start a fire. God them I wonder how a little African I go burn down the whole in a Vatican. But I know nothing see me back in a room, start a fire, start a fire.
Good afternoon to my fans on the west side. My friends in Puerto Rico, Ophelia, how you doing, baby? You good? Got some crazy fans, man. Wake me up in the morning with some nice messages. You know what I mean? Come on, let's sing together. Somebody say front line, beat it.
Time getting harder, still we striving for better. And we not gonna stop till the battle is won and we get justice. Cause if you lose your stand, anyone will try to push you over.
you feeling blessed today? Say, I'm blessed. Look at the person next to you and say, yo, I'm blessed, right?
Don't be discouraged by the pitfalls and their worries. Pain in joy for one night, but joy cometh in the morning. And if you lose your soul, there's nothing to gain. You must have both before me, Lord. And the boys used to say, you look there in the dark. But now they give all they learned in school to be someday. In the dark we hear, the teacher would ask a question, and you would always raise your head.
Once again, good afternoon to Mr. Shoy Gibson, just checking in. How you doing, big sister? You good? Yeah, man. That's how we ride the front line Tuesdays and Fridays, just after the Village Voice News. And I hope you're getting a copy of the Village Voice News papers that comes out every Sunday. It's available on the market countrywide. Make sure you get that copy, man. You know what I mean? Support the thing. Support the thing. Shout out to everybody in the live who's sharing the live right now, who just jumped on. Mr. Jerry, good afternoon to you. Mr. Adams, welcome. I haven't seen this name on this live before. Happy that you're enjoying the vibes, my youth. We're here to be of service to our people, myself and 50, and the entire staff at Maad 97.5. Well, we have this little corner that we like to take you in every day on the front line. The only show that actually does poetry is the Frontline Show. Follow it, man, from the time it started. We always give you the power of the spoken word, right? And we always encourage our poets in Ghana, come, let's record you and get your stuff out. But hey, I ain't going home by you and pay a taxi, bring you snacks to eat and something to drink, and then you record and then we go, come on, bring your work, guys. Let's air it for you, right? Because you know why? Because each one helps one. Together we can. Hold on, put on your pipe and smoke it, I'll tell you all today, right? Remember the tagline, each one help one, together we can. Let's go, my nation. We're going to take you into that corner, poetry corner, and today we're going to look at that thing called prejudice. It's something like people like run far from, 50. Who's prejudice? Everybody like make an excuse. You know what I mean? I tell me the man get off here, right? I say, some people don't keep company of other people. Hey, look, let me tell you something. I got about 4, and he called you race, and then I said, but he got 4 people of that kind of race. 4. Okay, good. You can count them. You gotta get real sometimes, right? I'll tell you why. But guess what? Let's go into the poetry corner. I'm gonna give you this piece on prejudice. Please, guys, listen to this with open mind. Don't come trying for, doop. No. With an open mind, because new ideas can never be grafted on a closed mind. This one is entitled Prejudice.
Hi, I'm Rakea, and this is my poem, Prejudice. Listen. Prejudice has power over me, not just when it's in the mouth of a stranger, but when it's in the things that we read, in the hearts of the media, in what co-workers believe, in the judicial system and the minds of police. Prejudice that taunts like a matador's red cape, then pretends it was never there. They won't speak of the riches they stole, the jewels that they wear, of colonial torture, but only of unfair. Only not enough jobs, not enough space, promising prosperity on merit, not race. But the nation is still clutching its purse at the sight of our brown-hued immigrant. Sometimes we are a tropical assortment to taste and tame, one troubled commune in a tent called BAME. I am a Black British Muslim woman with West African roots. Just because she wears a scarf too doesn't mean we're in cahoots. Just because he's kind of dark too doesn't mean we're shooting hoops. These boxes made for systems that flat pack people, that call a boy in a hood or a backpack lethal so they don't have to admit what they took from him. The records of his history. Peace, safety, self-worth, confidence. I want to fill an enormous water balloon with private school confidence, burst it with a slingshot, let it rain down deeper blue than the summer sky over all the poor kids and black kids and Muslims in this country who are never told they can, or who never see it. So when you're faced with an unconscious bias that doesn't trust you are capable, you can talk belief faster than prejudice. Convinced enough of yourself to say, I am a world, I am a universe of pure blue elements deeper than the summer sky. There is nothing that I cannot do with time, and those centuries have chained us. We'll reach your finish line, and even if we don't, we'll make our own. Our daughters and our sons will know it was not just a fable. There is silk red rope in the future, rippling in the sun, and knowing our brilliance means we have won.
That goes kind of deep, boy. See, a lot of people got all kinds of things that they think about our prejudice, and you know, they come from different angles, but every angle is worth listening to. And I know a lot of people could identify with this young lady, you know what I mean? I encourage you to go on YouTube, man, and listen to some poetry and educate yourselves too. Gives you a different take of everything, right? And if you see what's happening in our world today, let's look to what's happened. Just recently happened in America with the guy that had his knee on the other guy's neck. Now he's going to jail for a very long time, but guess what? Things just don't happen. All right, things happen for a reason. Why did it actually happen, and why did it bring so much international attention? Because that issue would never leave the minds of our young people. All right, it will never leave the minds of the kids of that guy and all who've seen it there. We got the videos, we got the pictures and everything. It would never go away, right? But it's there for a reason. Why did it have to happen? Why did the son have to die? Why did the man have to go to jail? Why? What's the message? Why? But I could carry y'all back to some of my own thinking, but it might upset some people because they don't like seeing it my way. But hey, some of these things come as messages, right? If we don't take them and try to understand them and don't understand that God is everywhere and in everything for a reason, yeah, we might be missing the point. There's a lot of people believe in this too cheek enough slap kind of thing, you know what I mean? But sometimes the message just comes in various ways. It just don't happen that a knee just go up on a man's neck and it get exposed to this point. It just don't happen like that. Just so easy, like an accident. No, sir. It happened for a reason and a purpose. And do you see what is the result of that action today? Can you really look at it and call for it? Call it for what it is? Yes, it rose some awareness in people who were sleeping. Now, hey, this is an issue that is still out there. You know what I mean? This is an issue that's been affecting our commune here on earth. This very same issue of prejudice. You know what I mean? And it's down there, I think, as one of the greatest sins. I ain't gonna lie. You guys go check it out. And some of us talk against it and then go wrong and practice it when it favors us. You guys are crazy. I ain't gonna lie. There's no problem in you or me, or because I love my race. I'm Portuguese. I love my race. Believe you me. You know what I mean? Well, I'm prejudiced. So it's not about being a racist alone, you know. It's that prejudice that is eating into our society. That's got us with this. This is a wall. This is a barrier that we're not passing. We can't go past it. And because we can't go past it, we're blaming everybody else and we're not now fixing it for ourselves. Nobody's going to drop from the sky to fix that. Believe you me. Nobody's going to die. They're sending so many messages in so many ways to our people. Hey, stop being hard-ass. Y'all remember one time, I'm going to do something. Hold on, 50. Give me 2 minutes there. I remember one time a guy led a lot of people out of slavery. They were in it for about 400 years. The creator of all things showed them all kinds of signs, signs of snakes and staffs, signs of manna falling from the sky, signs of striking rock and water flowing from the rock to quench the thirst of the people, signs of busting the whole sea. So they could go through before the Pharaoh and the army catch them, right? Listen to this carefully. So after they went through all that and they saw all the power and the might, guess what they did? Well, they took the spoils when they were leaving Egypt. They took all the spoils, enough gold, enough thing. They had enough thing there, enough wealth and stuff. So Moses gone up the man up in the hills to talk to the big one. And the big one to give him some, some commandments and stuff like that. Some people say there are 10 commandments. Others people say there were 613, right? Go check it. Check the tutorial. You guys might get that. So why is this guy up there taking a little long? People don't lose faith. They take all the gold, make a calf, and by then he come down, they worshiping something else. So after they get all these signs, you still don't understand. Your ear is hard. Oh, my people, man. Let's get real on the front line today, right? These kinds of things people don't like to talk about, 50. The doctor run, Hey, boy, hey, you remember this body listening to you? Okay. I don't know who the prophets were talking to. If they select the people, y'all gonna listen to me? Okay, y'all come this side. Nah, them might talk for everybody here. Books right for everybody here where them might be talking about hundreds and thousands of years ago. Yo, let's get real, people. If you don't nip it in the bud, it's gonna get more out of control, and we gonna find that there's a pain, and there's a bars, there's jails. They ain't got no bars in them jails. We just got ourselves in we own jails that we're creating, right? That's not peaceful and happy. All right, so get ready to prejudice, man. Get real, each one, help one, together we can. If you just joined the front line, guess what? On to the best show in the world. On the night, on the FM bandwidth, and on the Facebook page and all the other mediums as well. Shout Paul DJ 50. It's about 12 hours 38. Give you that time check, and remember, mask up. Mask up like Major Joby said, mask up. Use your sanitizers and stay far from people. Remember, blow is dangerous now because you might want to kiss. You know what I mean? They gotta collect the blow and the COVID kite home. Be careful. You know something before, hold on, 50. One more thing, man. Enough things come to my head when I want to tell you. Wait. Hold on, I can't understand this, right? So, check this thing out for me a little bit. I'm not denouncing anything, but it's just my little concerns I want to raise, right? Y'all give me a little hearing, right? Y'all give me a little hearing. So, here I am going to an institute that is distributing the COVID vaccine. So, on my way to get the COVID vaccine, I passed through a lot of stuff like minibus, car, whatever, and come in contact with people. And I contract COVID, but I know because I just contracted. So I'm going to get the vaccine now, and I feel safe. I'm going with the vaccine, and then I'm going back home to my family. Now, I'm going home back to the family with my vaccine, but I got the COVID too. Now, how? The COVID is not stopping me. The vaccine is not stopping me from getting COVID. So once I can have it, I can share it, right? But the vaccine is stopping me from dying. But them ones home and get the vaccine yet. So now you got like a car. I don't understand this thing. I'm really trying hard sometimes. People telling me, kind of thing, show pow, do roll with this, show pow, roll with that. It's still a watch me. Because I don't know. I don't know, right? I don't know. Like, I need to clear it up for this, brother. I'm a little complicated. I accept. I'm complicated, right? Bear me out. But if you guys taking it, please do, all right? Because they say that if you take it, you won't die from the disease, all right? Now that we won't have it, we'll be living. And this is my argument, 250. Why got the curfew then? If you got the COVID vaccine that stop you from dying from the vaccine and not stop you from getting the vaccine and sharing the vaccine, but why you don't open the place then? For real, why you don't open the place then? Because it ain't making no sense. We got all these precautions. You're sanitizing, you're washing your hand, you plus your vaccine, but here we ain't open yet because after 10:30 in the night, COVID is come out. And once it's out there, we can try to save you. You understand? Because COVID walking. So if you're partying in a group of people and we catch you, we can put you in a bus and carry you to a spot and lock you up because we're trying to save you from killing yourself from the COVID was come out after 10:30 in the night. Hey, we bright bad. We bright bad by Frontline Chronicles. We're just talking the things, right? Remember, it's my opinion, not that of Maad 97.5. Or of DJ 50, right? He just laughing.
Mass up. Well, everybody mass up. Watch the Frontline posse. Me said them a mass up. Water prediction.
Mass up, Major Joby, sir. Frontline crew. Good afternoon to Unruly Brian. We're going to take you back to the vibes, to the archives of DJ 50 for a while. Our guest should be coming for 1 o'clock, Mr. Baka. We're going to bring it on the front line. Let's go.
You know, so we talk about friendship, we talk about realness, cause real recognize real. So big up all the friends, them on the ends, them a bail. Cause the chill spot could never be a kill spot. Hear me now? This a one you have for the friend, them who know, so them not sell out, them when I need. And for all of the one, them who know, so them not beg my friend for the trade. I don't want for my friend, them, for my friend, them. The one
ones were true and not sell out. That one you for my friend them, for my friend them. When not about for the money alone. This a one you for my friend them, me defend them. From country straight back to town. This a one you for my friend them, not pretend them. No office see a feeling now. Alright, when your problem them a stress you and you a face all the pressure. You can link your friend them because them are dead for you. And if your friend them can't dead, that mean your friend them not ready. How you have to tell them your business and then go tell everybody. I saw you get for know the ones who really into you. And I know because of where you have met them a link with you. You not for watch what's in your cup when them a drink with you. I a real friend them that. So no. So you can't please everybody. So if you have to please somebody, just please yourself. Always please yourself. Better them, so we hype down with too enough. But when you're too nice, them deal with you too rough.
You know the legendary major Tommy represent with Joe Pow and DJ 50 on the Frontline Show.
No. So you can't please everybody. So if you have to please somebody, just please yourself. Always please yourself. Better them, so we hype down with too enough. But when you're too nice, them deal with you too rough. Better them, so we hype down with too enough. Yo, them will never ever get the chance to say we chat too much. So we hype down with too enough. But when you're too nice, them deal with you too rough. Better them, so we hype down with too enough. Them will never get that chance to know. Yo, we are the nicest people and them still do it bad. We have to wonder to ourselves how we do them God. Try to make them happy in the end. We sat down to see we don't fall a fool them glad back. Hey, why them wicked so and why them evil so? Them no want to see we clean, them want we dirty so. Me know you want we go, you want we kick the bucket now. Let me tell you something, my friend.
Some I to do, things get hard in a hurt. Enough time you see mama ball cause she hurt. Can't even find the friend for the church. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? Life hard, we have to face it. And no few they out a road and waste it. Nowadays it's all about survival. And when them youth make it, me have to rate it. Things no stay like one time again. When you coulda call on a real good friend. I be hand to mouth, can't borrow, can't lend. A problem when youths want money to spend. Cause right now things get sticky in a hurt. Can't buy a pants and we can't buy a shirt. Man a search and can't go to work hard. I say me fight every day and me can't see no better yet. Them say better most come away the better day. It's set away. When me get an envelope from in the Lord, me no want see another letter day. So by the sweat of your brow you shall lead, bro. This I'm a sweat away. Still a search can find better days. Jah please let them change them well. Jah please let them change them well. Youth them a cry can't find no love. Can't find no love. Can't find. Can't find no love. Can't find no love. Can't find love. When will it is? When will it cease? Jacket and telephone intelligent chief. Gone with the money with me liquor saving. Them a criminal, not true. Them look sophisticated. And the system was a sense of everything.
Like me, I know you wanna be like me, like me. The kids wanna be like me, like me.
It's your girl, Mother for DJ.
There's only a handful of special people in this world. Shout out to Jamaica. Golly God. Yeah.
And I don't know, say 50 mix are the maddest mix out the road. Jewelry says so.
From nothing to something. Like me. I know you wanna be like me.
You know the legendary major Tommy represent for Joe Pow and DJ 50 on the Frontline Show.
Like me. Like me. Like me. Cause I stopped hustling to make a buck. Now I'm the man, I'm the one who call the shots. 7 years strong and I'm still going hot. Shout out to the gully side, the struggle never stops. To my friends who kept it real with me, the ones who used to steal with me. Go hard to eat a meal with me. Some so long, they did this band.
Someone big up the corner shop. Big up my lane, big up my block. Big up anywhere you can chill. All a vibe and build really stress and relax, yeah. I'm say big up the barber shop, big up the ball field where the ball is at. Yo, just before me go home, I just some stop, release my mind and relax. I'm a chill spot. Everybody have somewhere they go when they feel there's no way out. For love and chat and forget about all of the struggle them face throughout the day.
I care less what workers of iniquity. Rastafari, my security, chilling. And I'm going out and coming in. Never leave by Jaja. I keep me far from vampires. And I'm going out and coming in. Keep me by your right hand. And keep me far from Satan. I let walk with me, talk to me, show me the thoughts and them hard for me. Me dip on my journey, them can't see me. Them a preface me can't write up.
Why them watch me like man I supposed to make it? The things that make me have is like man I supposed to get it. Yeah. Why them watch me like man I supposed to make it? The things that make me have is like man I supposed to get it. Swear in them eyes like me never earn a blessing. Never yet trouble nobody. I always try to make them happy. They want to see me fall. Even though I'm glad when I see them standing tall. Them just DJ 50, so rough them up in but them for know my born great. Meant to be a legend and it can't change. Even though them hear me. Why them watch me like man I supposed to make it? The things that make me have is like man I supposed to get it. Swear in them eyes like me never earn a blessing. Never yet trouble nobody. I always try to make them happy. If they want to see me fall. Even though I'm glad when I see them standing tall. Them just want to see me crawl. But them for know my born great. Meant to be a legend and it can't change. Even though them hate me still me can't hate. Tell me what they have them if them ask. I swear from my heart so me know it not a talk. Name. If anything about me at all. Yeah, I take it up and leave it to the Lord.
Some boy film can't stay man like one.
12 hours 49. And shout out my boy Andre Wilson. Always logged on to the Frontline show.
One time.
And shout out Miss it's Keyshawn Summer, right? Mm-hmm. Some new guys logging on the show every day. Really want to thank you guys for your support, you know what I mean? Everybody's asking me, Chop, we're not hearing you in Region 4. Yeah, we are kind of upgrading right now because when we come back, we're coming back with a bang. When we come back, it should be on the tomorrow or the day after. We're just waiting on this ash to ease down so we can get an easy passage with the parts that we need. Just give you a little insight to what's happening at 97.5. So, but when we come up back, the entire Guyana will be covered. Region 10 included, so now the fans in Region 10 will get a Maad 97.5. And when we come back every day, I'll tell you what we're going to do, all right? It's 975, 9.97.5. So we got a nice little promotion to give back to our listeners. I know some of you guys have been using a lot of data, especially those of you around Georgetown, just to get the various programs that you listen to or the entire. No, some people log on to the station all day. Look how some people bounce around. Yeah, we know that. That's how it's going, right? We know that. But you guys are using, we want to say thank you so much. So we're going to have a promotion starting pretty soon to help you in that area of data. And our sister Veronica is going to add a little lunch to that data for 5 persons during the course of the first week of the promotion, right? Yeah. No. Frontline ain't got nothing to give away. We're looking for the giveaways right now. You know what I mean? That's how we do it, man, you know, because like I said, each one help one together we can, and we know we've got some good supporters out there. We've got fans all over this country. And my phone has been ringing more now these days than ever before because of Maad 97.5. But you know, things happening, right? You know, people are listening. You know, everybody's tuning in, and everybody got their comments. I've got about 5 or 6 suggestions of how I can improve the Frontline show, what people like to hear on the show. I don't share it with a lot of people because, you know, sometimes you do these things and then people say, hey, the forward, we cool. Now the forward 150. I think you understand this thing. We develop both long in this game. You know what I mean? Entertainment I've been doing since the 80s, man. We ain't just come. You know what I mean? So the give back is going to start with the you know, we can give you some cash or some kind. I think we'll give you the kind in data, you know what I mean? Because we know you've been working your data just to be part of us, right? So hey, fans, we love you. Of course, we got some marketing people on board now. We are still reaching out, looking for marketing representatives, marketing agents from around the country. Even if you work with an agency, we don't mind. Give us a call, man. You know, tell everybody about Maad 97.5, all right? So we do this thing together. I want to say one thing, man. It's getting crazy on the roadways 50. You see what's going on in terms of accidents. I mean, you know, we're talking about COVID. Yeah, COVID is dangerous and everything. And we've got a vaccine to help deal with COVID. But when you look at the numbers for last year, that about 125 deaths as a result of accidents. I can't remember last year how many COVID deaths we had. But it might be equal, you know what I mean? So we got this vaccine, and you know, being attacked, Mr. Chubin is, I think might gotta get vaccine for some of these drivers too, you know, because Bill Gates, you need to go to work, my youth. You don't know, yeah? You need to go to work and get vaccine for these drivers down here, man, because people are going crazy. Accidents are killing more people, and as much people in Guyana as COVID, right? So, I gotta laugh at my own joke because I know how far I got in my head. I can't tell you guys everything else on radio. Yeah, no.
You gonna create it?
If I can create a vaccine, I don't know where the vaccine will come from by. This air weapon, right? A lot of people, let me be clear with this thing, 50. You know, a lot of people buy the license.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, you know, it's left or right, you know.
Most of them.
Either you're left or you right the test and then you're going to feel, so, you know, you're say, man, really much of the alien, feel sorry for you because the alien is a fresh one by bumper gun, a set of thing knocked out from all in it there. You know what I mean? The guys don't know to drive, but you're giving them license and we improving, all right? You might need to give them license and a vaccine to help them. I don't have the vaccine name, boy, you know, because a lot of stuff happening out there, and drivers get angry when you tell them they're doing something wrong. You ever come across a driver that get angry because they're correcting you? And he might, why you don't? Let me tell you something. I know y'all know what views out in them other countries, but you ever get a Guyanese views out? As part of a road rage view. You ever get a road rage views out? We don't stick up middle fingers. No, we don't do that. He's telling you how the middle fingers are made. You're making joke with GTY. So getting crazy out there, man. I know I'm just kidding out for the vaccine for the drivers, but I'm going to tell the drivers, be careful, man. You know what I mean? Then it's hard on the drivers, 50, because you make a car that could go up to 200 miles an hour, and you tell like a human being, don't try to make it go at 200 hours. You know, 200 miles an hour. You know human beings. You give it a car that could go 200, we going to want to make sure the car go at 200. If you want the speed limit be 50 miles an hour, make the car for 50 miles an hour. All right? Then the car not going to go past. You know what I mean? I tell you, man, but vaccine for drivers, what a thing. What a thing. It's getting crazy out there, though, man. You guys be careful in the nighttime. Sometimes you guys park those containers without any lights on it. Come on, man. Come on, man. That has taken a lot of lives in Guyana. Those vehicles are parked on the side of the road, yeah, and then got no lights on them now. Come on, guys. Like they say in Guyana, get better sense, now, man. Oh. So the drivers are beating the 97.5 right now. Hey, guys. Listen up. Safety first, right? You go speeding for make the money and then blah, 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 you're there limping with the money. You know, the money, even make it for put back the foot for get cut off. Then you got to deal with your mind because you might drive and somebody else might pass out and you got a memory in your brain all the time. That is like living in a jail without bars, man. So you guys be cool, right? It's about 12 hours 54. Let me give you some more music because 50 in a good mood today. Yeah, man. Before we go forward, I got to big up for a birthday, man. I got a friend celebrating her birthday today. She's one of Ghana's finest comedians. Want to say happy birthday to my sister Miranda. Y'all know Miranda, that girl? That made that joke about me, my muscle. My fuse and my explosion. You guys know the girl. I know y'all know the joke. She's celebrating her birthday today. She's in St. Lucia. You'll say happy birthday to you, Miranda. Enjoy your day, man. You know me, you're funny like whoa. Yeah, GT miss you too. You know what I mean? It's really a joy working with Miranda, man. You know what I mean? We did a skit one time. I had to ask Miranda because she should mouth to smelling bad because maybe she ate my socks because I had stink toes. Oh man, we made a good combination, man. So my nation, strap yourselves in, man. Happy birthday, Miranda. Have a great one, sister. Frontline show, Maad 97.5. Let me give you some more music.
DJ 50. Playing latest hits all day, every day.
Some boy feel them can't stay on like one time.
Good afternoon, stay on. When you come on the program, just stay on. You know what I mean?
Can't stay on like one time. Them coulda never stand. Yeah, hear me? Them have a lot to say. A lot to say. But we not listen. No, we not listen. Can't catch me flat-footed again. Go tell them a couple mil me spend. One player. Some boy feel them can't stay on like one time. Them coulda never stand. Yeah, hear me? Them have a lot to say. A lot to say. But we not listen.
You know the legendary Major Toby represent for Chow Pow and DJ 50 on the Frontline show.
Mill me spend. One player then up in a bone yard. No one market get the best of them. Fix them business, I'm in a business. Cold 45, never left a witness. Walk up down a mag and the fridge big. Rifle a fire farm in a miss. One bag up next speech. Last time was a than lead, them a just a hand reach. From me dogs, I'm a eat. The key a ton boy in a junk from it. Because she's a pimple's paradise. Top celebrity, that she love me say. With a bang, bang, bang. Yo, she love top celebrity, top celebrity. She love live the life and love get the leverage. Top celebrity, top celebrity. She love work the work and get the amenities. Top celebrity is that she love busy. She love party life, champagne and the NSA. Top celebrity,
look a bit they use pencil.
Can't keep calm when she
and big people use pen. Cause you say a picnic, your mistake them can rub out.
Where them would do fi be a millionaire? Where them would do fi wall a G? Some a fire shot dead inna the street. Sorry fi them, but me happy and no me. Some a use chalk pan the blackboard. Some a sell round a back road. Every hustle at the wall a we a G. From an up easy you a pre a the king. You no come but you broke. A yourself you a your little punk. Leave in a grand you give your mother fi the Montana.
Yo, sharp down. You know why? Look a bit they use pencil. And big people use pen. Cause you say a picnic.
DJ 50. Playing latest hits all day.
Where them would do fi be a millionaire? Where them would do fi wall a G? Some a fire shot dead inna the street. Sorry fi them, but me happy and no me. Some a use chalk pan the blackboard. Some a sell round a back road. Every hustle at the wall a we a G. From an up easy you a pre a the king. You no come but you broke. A yourself you a your little punk. Leave in a grand you give your mother fi the Montana. Walk in a kitchen every minute and a munch. Is a pirates the show get for your lunch. Full of kick, full of box, wash it down with a punch. People a walk like dog and you sit down and a big bowl of years as your ears are. Where them would do fi be a millionaire?
Some boy on a life. Boy have some girl I run a style for your wife for your yard. Don't think them in a life. Lucky she not style with her. And some boy, them ways can road. Half them a chase her around. Hold you up, some toe. Then I walk up with it in a crowd. Hey, no girl me can't stand no drama. Me make me girl pan a corner. Baby miss she know them policy. After 9 o'clock she can't call me.
One time gone, long time gone, when me never have nothing. One or two slices of bread, be careful what you bully beef tin cut you. Now a 10 key, and me don't even know which door figure open. Me full of enemy, Everywhere me go, me have to walk with this something. Now make them stop me when me reach so far. Left mama down a yard, me a do it for her. From me born, man I rise, man I reach my star. Hey, me can't. Fresh I done, fresh pain. So no girl can't call me freak. Can't call me. Mad them every day and everybody see it. Oh yeah. Step out clean at the place, them a beg me not done it, not done it, not done it. Do not done it, not done it, not done it.
My mind that's straight, but me I try rewrote it. Can't believe me I sing about it, Jordan. Me I know the type to give me man bun, but now me I think about it. Even know how I feel about it. Just can't believe me I sing about it, loyal. Me I know the type to give me man bun. Jano. 1 man for 5 years, so it excite me to get a touch brand new. Want you to please me in ways that my boyfriend won't do. Been me crush long time, so it excite me to get a touch from you. Want please you in ways that your girlfriend won't do. Yeah. Now say me and you fit that together. Why you shovel me treasure for temporary pleasure? Make we do this in a secret in whichever weather. Where and whenever me locate you where you prefer. Me love me man and you love your girl. So really and truly we know no future. Me no ride or die, but me we walk the miles for you. Barefoot like motor bazooka.
This a rough cut look shot. Yo, shit.
That's it.
And we carry it wicked pan there. Yo, yo. The bridge can break down. London Bridge can break down. The bridge can break down. Me say the bridge can break down. The Pope is a cheese some bounce. Me say the Pope is a ready. You must now. This a rough cut production. Yo, Shem. And we carry it wicked pan there. Yo, yo. The bridge can break down. London Bridge can break down. The bridge can break down. Me say the bridge can break down. The Pope is a cheese some bounce. Me say the Pope is a...
Down by your bad. Your bad mother wild kill boy. Even bad mother like you know. What is this guy, you know? I know you got enough of them husband shivering. Them shame and thing. You're bad man. London Bridge is broken down. Broken down. Broken down. London Bridge is broken down. So much over went for the bridge, Milan. London Bridge is broken down. Broken down. Broken down. London Bridge is broken down. They get you with the hands on the ground, Milan. No, I'm not judging the man. I'm just saying what I hear. I see it on the Facebook. The image them clear. Well, you know social media. Everybody like share. So I see when the head sprawl out. In the chest full of ear.
Any boy stand up, tip juice, walk over there. Stand up in front of him and tip over. If you now wind your back, that means something wrong. All fish hurry up and swim out ya. Hot gal gone up on the counter. Get wet, yeah, wine pan me closer. Gal broke out like a window. Your gas like cylinder, pan wall like a linda. Hey, yeah. Kill him with the wine, 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 kill him with the, 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 kill him with the.
Wine for my button, on my button. The real with me button, come my button and fake. Take your time, my button and a steak. Now you mash up my button like a birthday cake. The wine for my button, on my button. The real with me button, come my button and fake. Take your time, my button and a steak. Now you mash up my button like a.
Hold on, 50. When last year I hear the one there? When last year I hear the one? I thought that one would have taken over as the national anthem one time, 50. One the button.
Oh, I take your time.
Where's that guy though? Is that James Bond, right? Where is James Bond? 007. Or this one is 700. I don't know. You disappear after one hit. You can actually go down as a one hit wonder, right? Right, 50? Yeah, man, one hit wonder James Bond. Not the 007 where them man say rich now, you know. Not the one where the man say got a whole ton of money, you know. Gotta big up the cigars and cognac bar in Melanie, man. It's a nice place. I've been there a couple of times. Good afternoon, James Bond. That's my brother for life, man. You know I gotta tickle you one time. You know I think about doing now, 50. I think about going to talk to James Bond, you know. Yeah. It's a man watcher. I like the place where you got there, right? Here what happened. Sort out some distances and put some table around, you know. Let me do a comedy night. Yeah, for real, Melanie. See, down in the country when you're doing comedy, you could get done right and dirty. When you're at the cultural center, you gotta watch where you wear, watch where you talk, make sure you pronounce your words clean, you know what I mean? But when you're in the countryside, why? Lick it! So maybe we could do that in 50, you know, maybe let's go down to my boy James Bond and say, yo, cigars and cognac, take the first comedy show, man, you know what I mean? Because everybody else doing the thing, right? I mean, they got karaoke going on, they got, why not a comedy show, man, you know? I know y'all might run away when y'all hear about fees and them kind of thing. Cars be expensive these days, you know. But anyway, let's go back to my brother James Bond, man. He got some kind of button you want break.
You know the legendary nature to be represent for Chow Pow and DJ 50. Wine for my button, on my button. Be real with me button, come my button and fake. Take your time, my button and a steak. Now you mash up my button like a birthday cake. The wine for my button, on my button. Be real with me button, come my button and fake. Take your time, my button and a steak. Now you mash up my button like a birthday cake. Saying, man, you want? Me step up in the club, step up in the place. Me nah no popcorn, me nah no cornflake. But if we get for months and for years, every girl by me stage, them a shout out. Wine for my button, hey. You don't want no girl sit down. When you sit down, you get lazy. Stand up and bend over. That thing well amaze me. Stand up, bend over. Stand up, bend over. Girl, stand up, bend over. Stand up, bend over. You don't want no girl sit down. When you sit down, you get lazy. Stand up and bend over. That thing well amaze me. Stand up, bend over. Stand up, bend over. Girl, stand up, bend over. Stand up,
Lazy body, no want a lazy body.
On the front line. No laziness.
Lazy body, no want a lazy body.
Whoa, yeah.
Lazy body, no want a lazy body. Girl wind up like a crazy body. Girl I do the car tracking on the road and alley. Watch out that girl, lay a wine first body. Girl do the muscle wine and brace your body. Bring it up in the air, everything round up. Back it up, back it up. Girl I can't chat, babes, go and do your thing. Me no want to stop. Girl I bubble in a mini skirt, shots off front.
Don't slow it down, wine fast.
If she a me ex girl, let me want her back. When she must wine, every part's contract. Like we start from top. Yeah. Lazy body, no want a lazy body.
Tight, me girl, pat your good. Underneath you not freeze, you no sore. Tight, me girl, pat your good. Underneath you not rotten, no sore. Tight, me girl, pat your good. Underneath you not freeze, you no sore. Tight, me girl, pat your good. Tight, me girl. Lip, I go get grip. Watch me clip. Going at the split. Finger. Tight, me girl, pat your good. Underneath you not freeze, you no sore. Tight, me girl, pat your good. Underneath you not rotten, no sore. Tight, me girl, pat your good. Underneath you not freeze, you no sore. Tight, me girl, pat your good. Tight, me girl. Lip, I go get grip. Watch me clip. Going at the split. Finger on the. Make it grip.
Baby girl, just you walk, just sit down on it, girl. You walk, just wipe on it. You walk, just sit down on it, girl. You walk, just wipe on it. Come on, you see, so. Look what you do it. See, so. Look what you do it. When you get the legendary major to represent for Chow Pow and DJ 50 on the Frontline Show. Good girl forget things. Some man not forget. Good girl forget. Every girl just you walk, just sit down on it. Girl, you walk, just wipe on it. Girl, you walk, just sit down on it. Girl, you walk, just wipe on it. Come on, you see, so. Look what you do it. See, so. Oh, girl. Take your time with the body, darling. Not no 6:30 because you're back in our bed. Sit down for the jockey. Sit down for the jockey. All your body good and me want to touch ya. All your body good and that's why me love ya. Sit down for the jockey. Sit down for the jockey. Back it up with me, tweet for your tar. Sexy me love that tick for me slaw. Wind up your hip, ride rhythm for me slaw.
Sweet to God that you me rather. For me coulda never love you like me that. Adiana. Sweet to God that you me rather. For me coulda never love you like me that. Adiana. Clean Air Force, pearl white, say me than a dark. See me young go like you know see me Stevie Wonder. Make we kick it like Kung Fu Panda under. Stand love your under, see just tell Rwanda. Make up on everything, damn chill. Girl, you're safer than the rich man and the camel and the nigga. But me coulda never love you like my daughter Adriana. But me coulda never love you like my daughter.
Oh yeah, baby, turn me on, 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 turn me on. Girl, when you wind up your body, I just gotta wine on you. It makes me feel so happy just to stand behind you, oh baby. I just wanna know, did you come in there alone? Baby, let me know so I could get up in your zone. Hey girl, you're so sexual, make everyone else say what a sexy girl. And everything you say and everywhere you move and everything you do, turn me on, turn me on, turn me on, turn me on.
I'm saying good afternoon to my sister Margaret.
Turn me on, turn me on.
How you doing, baby? Good?
Turn me on, turn me on, turn me on.
Give you some nice cool vibes on the Wednesday. This is the Wednesday, right? Uh-huh.
Turn me on, turn me on.
Well, I just got some news that I guess might not be making it today. Mr. Back is really, really busy. Late notice, late cancellations. What you do, chop how you're feeling like a boss. Yeah, man. I want to say good afternoon to the Ghana Amateur National basketball team. Yeah. They're back home and, they had their little sojourn, so to speak. They were trying to get qualified for the 2023 games. They did not. You know what I mean? They met with some opposition out there, man. But we definitely had a chance on 2 occasions to get past and get into that next round, but we fell short both times. And I want to take time out to say, guys, you did your best. We're proud of you. I'm proud of you. Maad 97.5 has been behind you guys. The fans of Maad 97 has been behind you guys. You came up short. Hey, let me tell you something. Just to get to that point, a lot of other teams did not make it to that point, so we're proud that you did. And we're happy about your performance as well. A lot of people would have hoped that we would have made it into the next round. We didn't, so they might be having some negative thoughts on how to restructure, how to build over. Some people will be saying, get rid of the coach. You know, the first man for Tech is the coach. Get rid of the coach, Mr. Hercules. Yeah, he makes some mad decisions. He makes some mistakes. Let me tell you something about Mr. Hercules. Mr. Hercules might have been the only the only coach of a Ghana basketball team that has been exposed to that level of competition. All right. Mr. Hercules has been the coach that took Guyana to the national championships, the Caribbean championships, to regional championships, right? So we got Mr. Hercules, and he did not take us into that next round. So let's have his head. Let's have him out. Now, when you take him out, who you going to bring in? You're going to bring in somebody from overseas, pay them a lot of money, pay them a lot of retaining fees, put them up in a hotel, feed them every day to coach the Ghana team? How are you going to do that? Are you going to find another coach that in Guyana? And, of course, he would not have the experience that Mr. Hercules has, all right? Are you going to move him and just put somebody like that? Or we're going to find it necessary to assist Mr. Hercules to get some overseas training, send him to some courses, all right? Sponsor him. Prepare him for the future because he's a very young guy. Believe you me, and he loves the game with all his might. Alright? I mean, I'm not saying that there's nobody else around that don't love the game, but Mr. Hercules, Mr. Hercules is my trailblazer for today. He's been blazing the trails of basketball. He started in Plaisance with the Plaisance Guardians. Look what he did to that team. Taking Guyana to the championship, look what he did to that team. All right, you didn't get past to this round. What are you going to do? You going to put him out because they ain't got no other game he can go and coach, you know what I mean? He can't go outside and get no work because people are going to take the owner, not take Guyanese, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to discard him? Sometimes we got to start thinking beyond our own self, man, you know. Look at the big picture. All right, Mr. Hercules has the experience. The international experience of that kind of competition. Hold him on in there. You know, train him on. Get him on some money. You know what I mean? Give him some free credit on them kind of thing. Pay like Bill or something, you know what I mean? Encourage the brother because guess what? If we don't do that, where are we going to go? Who next we going to turn to? We going to bring in somebody from overseas? Ain't gonna work, boy. So we working with Mr. Hercules. Now I'm gonna be backing Mr. Hercules that he stays on as the coach of Ghana team. And I hope that all the people who mountain up can actually say, let's invite some overseas team now to give Ghana some real competition at home and let the Guyanese see their own team in action, because we never see this team in action. We don't know what they could do. We have to see them perform overseas before we see them against international teams. Of course, we had Grenada coming down a couple of years ago when Mr. Hines was there. But hey, come on, man. We need more of that. So get Mr. Hercules going. Get the team going around. Let's rally around Mr. Hercules. All right? I ain't gonna stress for them, man. You know what I'm saying? And yes, Margaret, better luck next time. We're gonna get a better team next time. Our coach is gonna have more experience next time around. We're gonna have a better chance. We've gone this far, we could go farther. You know what I mean? We could go further. And they've been saying that the big teams were not in the competition. That's why Guyana won. All right, good. Well, let me hope the next time that they're in the competition, right? Yeah, because we want them. We want them bad. Gonna big up that boy Stanton Rose and that boy Mr. James and his brother as well. And to my boy Yannick Tappin, don't feel no way. To my boy Dominic Vincent, don't feel no way. Alright? We stand by the Golden Arrowhead together. We up together. We down together. When you go into the basketball circles before the teams go on court, you know what they chant? They say all for one for all. And that's how it's gotta be, right? So Mr. Hercules, we salute ya. Good job, my youth. Stay focused. Take the constructive criticism and grow with it, right? Turn all the haters into the motivators and get your career going. I hope the Ministry of Culture get behind that, you there. Because football is not the only sport. Cricket is not the only sport. Basketball, you kind of see the kind of money they're bringing by? Oh my gosh. If it's done right, if it's promoted right, you're going to have a filled sports hall. So to my peoples, my basketball fraternity, good afternoon and respect to all the ayah there, right? Big up bunk straight back over to 51 more time. You know how we like to do it on the front line. I talk, he play, I talk. We do this together. Good afternoon, Sally, Lally, Lally. How you doing, baby? You good?
Burn up.
Let me say welcome home to my sister Melissa. I ain't gonna call no last name because I know enough of y'all in y'all feelings. But hey, Melissa. How are you, baby? Be good.
Burn up.
The party I burn up. Arif. Dirty bad mind always have things for say. Tell them we no worry cause we have party today. Yeah, me a bit nice. No me no cartel but me a bill of vibes. Put together that bill of wife.
Gonna big up my boy Tyrone. Don't say good afternoon to Lady Barbara. How you doing, Miss Barrington?
I'm gonna beg me a life, me say no. Nissy burn off no fella. Watch the girl never dash out it.
I crank it, ayo back for your ben, 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 ayo back for your ben. Quicker than a telegram, as I send me French letter. Please accept it. Do it as you accept it. Rockers.
Want it hard on the floor like we don't have much. Up inna the air and every gal a cook it up. Every gal a follow Lil and Chuck a back it up. Any boy that want a gal a band, they them have to cut. Me gal a forehead and you need them have to touch.
Back it up.
One round that is not enough. Fat gal, look how you make me tough. When me think, oh gal, me happier than a pillows. Every gal a position in a the dot. With the backers is a gal a man. Backers is a gal a man. Backers is a gal a man. Backers slap up your so louder than clappers. Backers is a gal a man. Backers is a gal a man. Backers is a gal a man. She want it hard on the floor like we not have much. Gal bend over like a yoga class. See the G's, them me ever see no over.
Make we go in
inna the light, happy nice lucky door. Set you up on your knee, na fi score. Set the ball a door when you wine, watch it goal. Girl, you are me queen, and me wife, ya me. Give your money for your spree, give your right for your rule. Could do be free every night. Sachi fi Sachi, Dior fi Dior. Chanel, put a two tongue a bowl.
Tell you what, hotter than the rest. Tell you better than the rest. No girl, can't test. Wine for me, baby. Kick out your foot away, you have in stock. I
think I'm out to say good afternoon to my sister Marla. How you doing, Miss Sally Cock? Yeah, I'm out 50 proper. Oh.
Tell you have in stock. I just tight and right, tell you have in stock. Come make him have to come home. Tell her you alone. Sit down on the like I say you feel your throne. Tell you pretty, send a picture to me phone. Bubble pan the grizzly, yeah, me love it when you moan. If your man dead, pick him with a stone. If you bushy, me a travel with a comb. See me a wet, longer than a bone. Ah, no, pretty little pretty where you own. But them nigga your body wicked in a bed. She can't say you can't bubble by your head.
Combination extraordinaire. Hey, sexy lady.
I dirty, yeah.
Hey, sexy lady.
The ladies on the front line, especially you guys on the live.
Dedicated.
This one's for you, man.
Ladies. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Sean Paul
and DJ 50.
Shut it. This one is annihilation. Combination extraordinaire. Hey, sexy lady.
Hey, sexy lady.
All right.
Yeah.
Her body's calling, a ballin', got me a crawling, up this a wallin'. My size ain't small, it's a tallin', got them glimpse, girl your clothes will be falling. Her neighbors calling, a ballin', all this noise is so damn appalling. They must believe we are brawling, headboard bang till early this morning.
Hey, sexy lady.
For Chow Pow and DJ 50 on the Frontline Show.
You know that's when I'm early. You know sleep all bound. You know walking dead. And you not tired. She do your dance and not take care of the picnic. Jesus no like the girl. How can she want like good as when she have pain, man? Fuck a wine and slide pan it. Tote it, back a bend quick. Phone off, not a texting. We lock down like we got arrested. Bubble hard, flap a Pepsi. Make your wife take a bag of fensic. Baby nobody dead.
My baby, beat hard like a Congo. Take me higher than the soprano. Come when you must sleep tiptoe. Now make a sound, make me man find out. Make you keep it on it down low. Don't tease or make your best friend know. Beat me Congo, beat me Congo. When me want my love, when him gone to bed. Him alive, but him always a dead. Now nothing fi sit down pan like a keg. Him brain a develop. That's why me need the next man when no fist down like a quicksand. Your beat be leather, hotter than a pepper, wetter than a hurricane weather. Yeah, beat hard like a.
I'll say good afternoon to my friend Carol. Just logged in all the way from the Netherlands. Welcome to the front line, baby. Yeah, the selecting in 50.
Don't tease or make your best friend know.
Boom!
Beat me Congo, beat me man. Follow me round like Twitter. Stand up and look in at me face like mirror. When time come, him can deliver. So I me prefer this and caress my figure.
Cause if you want me to go,
garbage bark time.
look in the way you do.
I don't know, man. They know a garbage bag, but we know about cartoon box. Good afternoon to my ladies in Sophia.
That's impossible to do.
Oh.
You can be looking the way you
no, I ain't calling them. I ain't calling them. They're gonna put me in trouble. Oh, don't tell you already. I ain't going to jail for none of you, you know. Not me. Come on.
I don't know what to do, so I'm pleading. Plus you will give me no reason. You tell me this is the end of the season. Mash up everything, dress.
Good afternoon, Marla.
But you don't understand when you watch me. I said that's me that I win the lottery. Or you go pick up dress so and then dump me.
No, baby, no.
But your back on me close.
I don't think this one can get old for me, you know, 50.
Sit on the ground by the roadside. You can get out your place to come inside. Baby, don't do me that. You go break me heart.
Oh, baby.
I believe you're ready to give up on we just.
I know some man frightened by the clothes get thrown upon the road, you know. Especially them shorts ain't washed yet. Your shorts sit on the road. Everybody see your skid marks. Why? Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, Miranda. Bring it to the board there, baby. Oh. Good afternoon, Horace.
Look who, you know how long we already see you. It could have been about a year or two. Call to drink now, what we go do. Long time, been a while we have us a line. Nothing that changed, but you still look fine. Look how you looking fine. I thought you hiding, I thought you went foreign. Look how things happen now. Look how things happen now. So let me hug up and squeeze you.
Hold on. You see these fans who we got in the front line and nice, you know, not look down and telling they got shorts in the Hold on. No, Dan and tell me from Auntie telling me the shorts and only ain't got skid marks and got hold to rat bites. Wait, rat is still going to eat up people's underwear, man. Why?
Just last week when I called your name, I did that your friend and them. But last day they talked to you.
Put yourselves in a good mood now. We're going home just now, not to worry. Not to worry, man. The people at work right now. Let me tell you somebody. Let me tell you what's going on in the workplace, right? In every workplace, got somebody that want to beat up somebody bad. And the people who normally want to beat up the other people is the workers and the supervisors. People are truth. I ain't lying to you. Tell me something. Right now, you working in a place, listen to Maad and Sam. Ain't there got somebody in that you could just go and squeeze the daylight out of? But the thing about this is that these very people that you want to squeeze the daylights out is the same people you just walk to work with in the morning and then come home with and then still have lunch with. Oh, gosh. I'm telling you the truth. In fact, it's true. Yeah. That's true. Even in morning, because they got some people might want to squeeze the daylights out of other people, but we love each other, man. That's not how the thing is going, right? It's just how the thing is going. I'll tell you why. Don't pick up everybody in the islands, man. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we love you. I know the boat is going to be just there with the supplies from GT. Yeah, you're going to be all right, man. You're going to be all right. We're going to take care of you, all right? Y'all come to GT, man. We got land. We get y'all some land, do some farming, contribute to the economy. You guys going to be good. Yeah, he said on right now, people punching the radio. Hey, Chopo, we want... Hey, Chopo! Don't say you love your brothers and sisters and then be scared to show that love, right? You gotta show it, man. On the front line, it's about 13 hours 31. How y'all feeling? Y'all good? Y'all good? Smile, man. Give your face a rest. As I always tell y'all, if you're holding back your smile because your teeth in your mouth ain't looking good, trust me. That's you teeth, be proud of it. It ain't gonna change. Well, you can put them up, put them false teeth, and then it's gonna be all right. But hey, be proud of yourself, man, right? I want some good friends, man. I'm looking for friends, some girls looking for buddies.
Yeah, man. Every woman deserve a good body.
All right. easy there, Jamie. Take it easy. Why? Come on, wave your hands in the air. You're on the front line with Chow Paul and 50.
For Chow Pow and DJ 50 on the Frontline Show.
The sweetest melanin, yeah. See when you step out into the light and your body looking right. No constellation in the sky could ever take your shine. I'll travel a million miles just to look up on your smile. Baby, look up to the clouds right now. Say it to me, I will be around for the entire night. See, baby, while I'm close, I'll be here.
Let me big up the Soca Fox. Every time I hear the song, I remember Ishwar. Yo, 50, you remember Ishwar? Entertainment boy, you can't replace it. Just in case you're wondering, right? Ishwar was a striptease dancer. Male striptease dancer. I know everybody laughing and say male just no. Pull up the show, 50. Oh my gosh. How can you not want to listen to the Frontline Show from 12 to 2 from Tuesdays and Fridays? Eh? How can you not want to? Oh, you should see when Ishwar is working the spot. Anybody remember Palm Court on a Tuesday night? Over 13 years ago? I wonder where Ishwar is right now. I heard he went to Suriname one time. I think he got married to. Yeah, for real, he got married to some guy. Oh, nice. It is what it is. Why trip, though? Why trip? I ain't tripping. You can get any man. Missy man, I promise you all house and land. TV sham, all about say him want buy your van. Deane man, say him want jump in a style and the rhythm like Angla bang. 13 hours, 36. Don't big up DJ Colin. That's the music coordinator right here, 97.5. Well, I big up them, my youth. Great job. Jump in a style and the rhythm like Angla bang. Have a little money in my pocket cause I just got paid. I could do it a little more but I'm still irate. So now I'm stepping out to a party. Trouble when I link up with my friends and family. Man, anywhere we go, we mash it up. We rip it up, we mash it up. Girl, them a fi bubble and them a fi back it up. Everybody see we and they say we act it up. afternoon to my brother Gary Hall over there at GPL. How you doing, my brother? You good? Hola, no. Big people party.
Big girl come on bitter mango, telling me that it's sweet paso. I said, darling, go and wash it. Bring the thing and let me eat it. I don't mind the butt stick up in me teeth. Bring the mango, girl, I know that it's sweet. Just give me a suck on your Julie mango. Give me a suck on your Julie mango. She give me orange. She give me grapes. She give me apple. Only Julie, I want the taste. Give me a suck on your Julie mango. Give me a suck on your Julie mango.
Pablo G. Gucci boss. Every time.
Yeah, man.
So false record. Only just one. Watch.
Bring you home to GT. Let's go.
And it's the only woman name. Well, like big man.
Where the woman up there? Yo, Pablo. Got it. Think of yourselves in New York City, man.
This one is gonna take you into 2021. It's the General. Pablo G. Gucci boss. Every time. It's the Kaicho Falls record. Only just one. Watch it. This one is the only woman name. Well, like big man. Well, like big man. This one is the only woman name. Well, like big man.
Well, like the sugar daddies.
This one is the only woman name. Only woman name.
Where the sugar daddies them there?
The only woman name.
Sugar daddy anthem. Let's go.
Well, like big man. Oh Lord. The butterfly she not do. Half for me and half for you. Young man, when you not do what you fi do, she a go give away the soup on you. White rice, no callaloo. She fight she's a big uncle. Bill pay them things that fi do. Here did nails done too. So when she start ignore you, you know she fight she's a big uncle. Primo pull up brand new. You a peep and a act she a who. When she reply, fire what do you?
Hold on, the fifth to bring back the two. I gotta big up all the big uncle there, man. Yo. Let me tell y'all something, right? You see, Guyanese, we got a special place in this world, man. Big up, yo, I know, you know any big uncle? Like, you know, I know some big uncle. Sometimes I be a big uncle.
Just one. What?
We all the big uncles them there.
Well, like big man.
Come, let me go.
This one is the only woman name. Well, like big man.
Some of them big man, like them people say no teeth big man. But I'll tell you something about no teeth man. No teeth men make the best lovers. You guys go figure it out.
Pablo G. Gucci boss. Every time.
Fifth line. No teeth men makes the best lovers. Y'all go figure that out for yourselves.
Pablo G. Gucci boss. Every time.
And most of the sugar daddies, them boy work off of gums. Beat.
Pablo G. Gucci boss. Every time. It's the Kaicho for Pablo G. Gucci boss. Every time. It's the Kaicho for Pablo G. Gucci boss. Every time. It's the Kaicho Falls record. Only just one. Watch it. This one is the only woman name. Well, like big man. Well, like big man. This one is the only woman name. Well, like big man. Well, like big man. This one is the only woman name. Only woman name. This one is the only woman name. Them well like big man. Well, like big man. Oh Lord. The butterfly she not do. Half for me and half for you. Young man, when you not do what you fi do, she a go give away the soup on you. White rice, no callaloo. She fight she's a big uncle. Bill pay them things that fi do. Here did nails done too. So when she start ignore you, you know she fight she's a big uncle. Primo pull up brand new. You a peep and a act she a who. When you give my time.
Ugly man, money nice. The money nice.
Hold on there. We got a big of a friend Natty, man. Natty say you never see an ugly thousand yet.
Ugly man ugly man time.
Oh my gosh.
Ugly man wine.
Tune.
Ugly man time.
Ugly man wine.
Ugly man.
Hey.
Money nice. The money nice. Ugly man, your money sweet, 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 sweet. Your money sweet. Them ugly man, nice, 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 nice. Them money nice. Ugly man, your money sweet, 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 sweet. Your money sweet. Ladies, who give you breakfast in bed? Ugly man and not stop rub your head. Ugly man who does talk nice to you. Ugly man who have respect for you. Ugly man, money nice, 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 nice. Them money nice. Ugly man, your money sweet, 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 sweet. Sweet. Them
Yo, y'all give me. Y'all got pardon me, man. I think y'all need to start praying for me these days, man. Y'all need to go pray for me, man. I need help.
Ladies,
I ain't gonna lie, I need help. You see, okay, money man, money nice, money man, money sweet, and all these things. But there's one point that, you know, it's a little tricky with ugly men. Now, it's relates to us men when we're having a good time, and we come into that point that we're about to have a good time. It starts changing our features. As a matter of fact, as we feel more nice, is the uglier we just get. Right now, women.
nice.
Imagine starting out ugly.
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
Where you ending up when the nice time reach? Oh my gosh.
Nice, 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 nice. The money nice. Ugly man, your money.
So sometimes you gotta think past the money. Right? Think about that vision you might get.
Who buy your house and land?
Ugly man.
Buy your car and van?
No.
Ugly man.
Tell them say ugly girl, them a boss. Ugly girl run things. Ugly girl. Boss away.
Somebody say front line go.
Nice, 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 nice.
Oh God, oh.
Ugly girl wine sweet, 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 sweet. Ugly girl wine nice, 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 nice. Ugly girl wine sweet, 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 sweet. Hear me, yo. Who does take care of man? Ugly girl who does cook good food. Ugly girl make man breakfast. Ugly girl and a feed them man. Ugly girl.
The only thing they say in the tune is that ugly girls just get blow too. Let it blow, blow, blow there, 50. Let go, let go.
Represent for Chopo and DJ 50 on the Frontline Show.
Polado. Frontline. Different kind of vibes on the FM band.
We go have a grand time all night tonight.
All right.
All night tonight. All night.
You're making joke.
We go have a grand time all night tonight. All night tomorrow night. We go have a fine time all night tonight. All night tonight. All night tonight. We go have a fine time all night tonight. All night tomorrow night.
I'm gonna say good afternoon to my sister Ismay. Welcome home, baby. All right then.
Nation, where your nation?
Where the real Guyanese at, man?
Nation, where your nation?
Put up your Guyanese flag, then let me see you. On the live. Load the page with the golden arrowhead there one time. Let's go. Oh my gosh.
All we are one generation, nation, where you're there. All we are one generation, nation, where you're there. All we are one generation, nation, where you're. All we are one generation.
I like this one here, 50. I like this one. It's good like this. Go so. Ding dong crackete, hold me crackete, ding dong crackete, crackete me crackete, ding dong crackete, hold me crackete, crackete me crackete.
Pin the door, let him on.
Why?
All we are one.
Put up your flag, put up your flag.
All we, everybody sing. One family, sing.
50, big up yourself. Hey. Look flag, 50, look flag. The flag me up like if you got an event, boy. Front line to the world. We gonna keep you home with my baby Tamika. Love this lady right here, I ain't gonna lie. I love to wine too, baby. Believe you me. Me too, since I'm young. I used to wine till I'm weary. Pull up the jeweler start. Don't tell me it's me alone do that, right? Don't tell me it's me alone do that. Enough what we do though. Wine till we bury. Come on, let's go together. Jamaica Marshall on the front line.
It up, party bad up, the amount of bottles we pop, still the bar can't bust, the whole team link up, now everything sync up, right now we're higher than a treetop, we gonna shell it like we never did before, and it's party, we party, we party, we love, party, we love, party, we love, party, we party, we party, we love, party, we love, oh, yeah, party, we love, party with we friends, party, we love, yeah, yeah, party, we love. 24/7 party we love, yeah. Vibes up, day, dance, turn right up, yeah. You don't know we come out up, play. The girl them looking sexy. Well okay, hands up, hands up. I say I wanna see your hands up, yeah. Dance now, dance now. Let me see your bossa dance now, yeah.
I find myself in a Juve van with a sexy Maruga man. Can't remember me husband name. Could not remember me husband name. Because the man have me so bad, so deep. Man have me so bad, so deep. Man have me so bad, so deep. Man have me so crazy. Man have me so bad, so deep. Man have me so bad, so deep. Man have me so bad, so deep. Man have me so. Me whining does never stop. Super Links.
I want give it to you.
That's right.
I want give it to you. I want give it.
We gonna give you some vibes. Come on, come on.
Super Links.
Good afternoon, Natasha, baby. Take it easy there, right?
Marsville. Super Links.
I want give it to you, baby. I want give it to you,
baby.
I want give it to you. I want give it to you. I want give it to you, baby. I want give it to you. I want give it to you.
I want to give my wallet to you. What?
Oh, you walk it up, I walk it up, I walk it up, I walk it up, I walk it up. 6, 6, 6.
I want you balance, then tick, tick, tick.
How are you walk it up, I walk it up, I walk it up, I walk it up, I walk it up. 6, 6, 6. Patrice again.
I want give it to you,
baby.
I want give it to you. I want give it to you. I want give it to you. I want give it to you, baby. I want give it to you. I want give it to you. I want give it to you.
Oh gosh, oh gosh. Yeah, the sounds of the Caribbean. This is who we are as a people, right? Gotta stand up with our brothers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I know you guys got a lot of stuff to say about the guy, and I too had some stuff to say about the guy, but hey, it's not about the guy, all right? It's not about the guy. It's about who we are as a people, you understand? And everybody say how Guyanese are so hospitable, and you're right, we are. You know what I mean? So on to the negative person, say what you got, because I say what I got too, you know what I mean? I think, everything got its reasons, you know what I mean? But hey, when our people are in need, we should reach out to them. That's what we do, right? As a people. So I know that, well, of course, they're not choosing 97.5 to air the ads and stuff like that, but we hear that the CDC or somebody got something at some account somewhere. We don't know, we can't help you guys with it on 97 because they have not shared that information with us. As a matter of fact, they share enough information with we. So what we do, though, we go and we get the information still and we bring it to you. But this one, I don't have because I didn't go after it. But there's, I think, oh my gosh, I think it might be GBTI. I stand corrected here on these things, but it might be GBTI. There's an account setup where you can go and donate some money to a fund that will go to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Guys, if you can go drop a bomb, right? Drop even 500, drop a bomb. 500 is like 5 bottles of water, but drop the 5 bottles of water. It could save 5 lives. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be can, each one help one. That's the motto. We're gonna live by on the Frontline show, right? Remember the show edutains you. You know, you got fun, we teach you something, you dance, you laugh. You thought like 50, but the clothes, I don't mind. It's not me clothes. I don't buy clothes, Sabano. Yeah, but when we get down serious, man, hey, it is what it is, right? Reach out to our people. We love them too. And over the years, St. Vincent have been going to a lot of Guyanese people, because nothing we go over there, get married, make children, and know it's Blair, it's both and them as Vincentians. But if anything, I'm good Guyana. It's like, hey, half of you's Guyana, you know. Y'all properly pick and choose where y'all want to be associated or affiliated with Guyana. Anyway, you know, I start the things, right? Father Links, big up yourself, my youth. Respect. Love the morning show on a Saturday. I ain't gonna lie, the team is a good team. Yeah, I got this little job down at 97 where I overlook the kind of coordination here at the station, and Father Links drop in with the crew, and hey, the guys are doing a good job on a Saturday morning. It's 10 to 11, right? No, 9 to 10, that's the time, 9 to 10. So now 9 to 10, we got Father Links, we got Bollywood Vibes coming from 10 to 11, and then we got Song Power GT Vibes coming from 11 to 12. That's our Saturday mornings, right? Sunday morning, get ready for Calypso Sunday, starting this weekend. We also will try to start airing Sundays in the country. You know, we got a lot of lovers of country music. We're going to give that to you on a Sunday, right? We ain't going to miss you. We ain't going to miss nobody. Maad 97 belongs to us, as they say, is we own. So we're going to give what you love to you. In terms of...
Like mine in the picture. Low boy, she only have a brother. You confusing she with another. We were the same girl, and we didn't even know. Right from the start. Just break we heart. We with the same girl, and we didn't even know. Right from the start, the girl just break we heart. Yeah, yeah. This is K.I. Trivini, Dolly Boy, to the studios. Hey.
When I cough and when I sneeze, they put me in quarantine. They say I have COVID-19. They put me in quarantine. Now I'm begging on my knees. They put me in quarantine. Now I'm praying who go sleep. They put me in quarantine. They say it's the worst disease, so I have to quarantine.
DJ 50 on the Frontline show.
Alright guys, we're just coming down to closing off for today. Lovely show today, big up 50. The fans really like what's happened today, so you know, we got some proper views out there. Share the live guys, let everyone know what's happening at midday time and on the FM bandwidth and on social media. Frontline show, Chow Pow and DJ 50. We love what we do. And we're going to keep doing it as long as we have the mediums to go forward. Let me say thanks to Mr. Christian Duncan. We're working hard to get up the system back. We know everybody is asking me. And the thing about it is that people used to say, hey, Chow Pow, we just hardly hear the station, you know. And now we're off in Region 4. A lot of people walk me on, they coming on back, so we know them listening. You know what I mean? We know. And so, hey guys, let me tell y'all something. This pie is big enough for everybody to get a bite, but now people got to walk and earn the space, cause we up on the trail. You know, we not back off. We not gonna back off. So big up the entire team at Maad 97. We're gonna get pushing, and we're gonna be back on in the entire country when we return by the weekend. So look out, Linden. We're gonna be able to come to you live. You're gonna hear us, man. You're gonna sound loud in the ears. The people in Kakwani and Ituni and everybody. You're gonna get a station to be with all night long, 24 hours, right? So thanks a lot for the opportunity, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in to the Frontline Show. And yes, to my friends who await me my return to the car park so you could travel with your favorite taxi driver. I'm going to be back in just about 2 days' time. My feet is feeling better. I think I can start going about now and continuing what I left off. So to all the persons who are out there waiting for me to deliver on something, wait, I'm going to be there. I cannot help this. This was amazing. This attack that I had, I was really strong this time, you know. But hey, God is good. I'm here and I ain't going nowhere until He says, yo, Chopo, I want to see you. Then I'm going to join the stars up in the skies and look down upon you. How do we know? Oh my God, there's another conversation for tomorrow. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We're out of time, guys. Stay locked right here on 97.5. As we always say before we leave, you put God first in your life and everything will be okay.
You're listening to the New Generation Radio, Maad 97 FM, broadcasting from Georgetown, Guyana, in the highest quality.